Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome here to the local.
Here we go.
Yep. Oh, how do we tighten this one up?
Tighten it?
Oh, no, that's all right. No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, you should be sweet.
Welcome. So fresh from pads.
Yes. Good session today. 4 weeks, exactly 4 weeks today.
Is it really?
Very exciting. 30th of November. Me and Mr. Mundine got a date with Destiny.
Date with Destiny. Where is it's local, isn't it?
Seabus Stadium.
Seabus Stadium. So how do they do that? Do they just...
At this stage, apparently the ring's on the 30-metre line and they've got half the stadium, and then if they get more than 8,000 tickets, then they'll push the ring to the centre of the stadium, and then we get the whole thing then. So
how's it going so far?
So social media wise, it sounds like everybody's going.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait and see what happens on the night. So
yeah, we'll have to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be
Go
crazy.
down, check it out.
History's going to be big.
Month time.
On the 30th.
30th.
That's a Saturday night.
The 30th of November?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
A Saturday too. So
Sort it out, check it
the
out.
plan is I go on about 9:30, and that way with daylight savings in Sydney, it won't be too late for everyone to watch it then.
Is anyone else who's on the undercard? You got any local guys?
One of my students, Benny Marnie, he's fighting for his first ever boxing title.
Yeah.
So he's at 8-0 currently, and the guy's fighting supposed to be really tough as well. I'm not sure of the gentleman's name, but be a tough one. But Benny's amazing. He's the future.
So how did that all come about? Because that's not you. You're not. I mean, I guess you're a striker, but you're not predominantly boxing.
Yeah. So I think what happened with the Conor McGregor Mayweather fight, it drew so much attention that they want to do something similar.
Yeah.
So Mundine's last loss, he's so adamant that he has to get one more back just because he can't go out on that note after doing so much in his career and win all those world titles, and to get knocked out in 90 seconds is devastating.
There was this one against Jeff Horn.
This is
wasn't
Jeff
it?
Horn,
Yeah.
So this is his redemption, and then I think that everyone else was calling him out, trying to get the big payday.
Yeah.
And then apparently my name was mentioned, and he jumped right on it. Said, "Yeah, you reckon John Wayne will fight me?" And yeah, sure. So they gave me a call, and I was all in. Yeah. I'm in for sure. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I haven't boxed since my last boxing fight was 2003.
Yep.
So my record is 13 fights, 10 wins, 10 knockouts. So and then the losses I had were all on points over 12 rounds.
Yep.
So I either lose on points or I win by knockout. So yeah,
that's what you're expecting. Yeah.
So hopefully I can keep that momentum going and land one on his chin.
Because it sort of felt like he was a little bit outmatched, wasn't he, against Jeff Horn? It felt like he was sort of maybe not getting older, but maybe just coming into the new breed. Yeah. You know, Jeff Horn, he was pretty high, Jeff Horn.
I think you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So he's half committed. He's not sort of he want to be there, but I'm sort of this is my last one. And then with Horn knocking him out, I think he wants to retire, but his ego won't allow him to. So that's where I come into the equation.
He's pretty notorious for his ego.
Yeah,
isn't he?
But it's a good thing. It gives me an opportunity to go out there and do some have opportunity to shine.
You're almost polar opposites, both of you, because you don't really seem to have a very big ego at all. You're sort of a real humble person, and you can lay back and take it easy. Then you got Mundine.
I'm confident without being crazy.
Yeah.
I believe in my own skill set, and I know that I can give anyone in my weight division all over the world a good fight. But I don't have to tell people that. I know it. They know it.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell
people.
They don't,
they'll find out. Yeah. It's crazy thinking that. I mean, boxing is it? Do you think because have you announced this is pretty much going to be your last?
Yeah.
fight?
I think a lot of people think I'm going to have one more Muay Thai fight because I'm on 99 wins right now in my Muay Thai career. But my injuries are starting to get to the stage now where my body's that doesn't like me. It's really everything hurts. So while I'm training, while I'm warm, while the everything's going really well, I'm everything's good. And then 10 minutes later after I cool down, I just get waves of pain all through my spine, through my sciatica, through my hands. 146 fights have caught up with me, and 30 years in the business too. So no regrets. I've enjoyed every single second of it. But I've said since day dot, I'm going to keep fighting until the wheels fall off.
Yep.
And then the wheels are very wobbly.
So
it's got to the stage now where my body's made the decision for me that it's time to hang them up.
Yeah, because you're finding that like when you go to training, because when you're young, obviously you just jump in, spar, fight, train, whatever. Then you're recovered. You can almost do it again in an hour's time.
Yes,
you're finding that just just not there anymore. You have to spend a lot more time warming up. Like, do you find like you go to the gym and you think maybe I need to warm up for half an hour to get going first before I even?
Oh no, now it's a stage where I'll have a training session. I'm seeing a chiropractor 3 times a week to try and loosen up all my bones. I'm getting acupuncture. I'm getting chiro. Doing the cryotherapy and with the freezing as well. Everything. Yeah, I'm spending more time with recovery than with actually training now.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. I'll guarantee that I'll be 100% for this fight, and then after that, then I'll look at getting fixed.
Yeah. Have you've never retired before?
I retired one time back in 2012.
What was the difference there?
I think I just needed a break.
Yeah.
I'd been training every single week for 25 years, and then it got to the stage where everything was just, I got bored.
Yeah.
Doing the same repetition over and over and over, and I thought the grass was green on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
And then when I retired, about 6 months after retiring, I was so bored. It's like, I miss the rush. I miss the excitement. I miss walking out in front of the crowds. I miss my knuckles connecting with people's chins. So that adrenaline dump, you can't beat it. You can't buy it.
Yeah.
The only way to do it is to get out there and actually do it. So, but now I have no other choice. My body's telling me that's it. So I've come to the conclusion. I'm content with my decision to finally call it a day.
So do you think like when you did it back in 2012, it was more, like you said, you just needed a break, but at the time you were thinking, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much. It was more mental probably than anything. Where you thought it's just too much.
And after about 6 months, then I realized I want to do this because I love doing this. I'm not doing this because I have to do it anymore. I'm doing it because I love doing it. And then when I came back and had that mindset, it was so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because you get into that. After being in Thailand for so long, the Muay Thai is not a sport; it's a job.
Yep.
And every single fight counts as your reputation and for your prize money, for the gym. Everything relies on you winning.
Yeah.
And then when I came back to Australia, I kept that same momentum, kept that same sort of style, and then I just got burnt out. And then the 6 months break was the best thing that could happen. And then when I came back, it's like, and every time I got tired, it's like, no, I want to be here. I like doing this.
Yeah.
And then that's what made me be really successful.
It's a much different way of life, obviously in Thailand, to it is here, because is that pretty much their national sport?
Yes. They're very big fans of the European soccer, and outside of that, their home sport is the Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So they have back when I was there back in the 90s, there was a newspaper that came in every single day with the who fought last night, who's fighting tonight, who fights tomorrow. Tells you all their weights and age and their last 10 fights, and it's all almost like the form guide for the horse racing.
Yeah, it's going to say it's just exactly like horse racing.
And then you got guys that are professional punters, so they go to the stadium and all they do is bet on the fights. They don't have jobs, so they're at the stadium every single night, just betting.
Yeah.
And then it's just, and then
you just guys are like guns for hire.
And then if you're smart, so say red corner's winning the first 3 rounds, so you put your money on red, and then all of a sudden blue turns around, then you put your money on no. So if blue's winning, you put your money on red, and if red's winning, you put your money on blue. And then if you're betting on both sides, either way you're going to make money. So there's guys that play both sides of the coin, and then they get a return either way. So
is there any like, with any sport, especially when money's involved, there's a bit of cheating involved?
Oh, for sure.
Have you had people like hit you up and say, hey, do you want
I've been okay, but I've seen other fights. It's notorious in Thailand where halfway through the fight, the referee will stop the fight, tell the fighters go in each to their neutral corner. They'll get the microphone and they say, I have suspicion to believe that red corner isn't fighting to 100% of his capabilities. He's now suspended for...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then they'll have a big meeting, like the judiciary get together, and then they'll fine him and put him on suspension for however long.
So it's actually like they're dumping that. The ref's like, no, I know this guy.
I've watched this guy fight 50 times and all of a sudden he can't keep his hands up. What's going on? And then what happens is that not only does that fighter lose his name and his reputation, but he's also bringing bad karma and bad press to the gym. Yeah. So there was the one gym that I know of where 2 of their fighters did it, and then 2 of their fighters may have gone missing. And then apparently the owner of the gym paid 100,000 baht for their criminal files to disappear. And then, and then all of a sudden the name of the gym came back again. The reputation come back because they know the boss isn't going to stand for anything. And it's a warning sign for all the other boxers in the gym that if they have second thoughts about making a quick dollar with the mafia, that there's a good chance that they won't be visiting their
So there's like a bit of a Thailand underground.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah.
Stay away from it.
Yeah. So I'm lucky because I'm a Westerner. All the Thais think they can beat me anyway. So I never had that pressure.
Yeah.
But my trainer, he was Thai, and he got offered a million baht, which is about 35,000 Australian dollars to throw a fight. And no. I need to be able to put my head on the pillow at the end of the night. And when I retire, not to have that burden. Yeah. And then the bad part was he lost for real. Oh. Yeah, so $1 million baht, he could have offered $1 million baht, and then he actually really lost. He said, damn it.
Yeah. But that just opens up a can of worms, doesn't it? If you're going to start going down that road,
for sure.
I wouldn't want to know about that.
So, but even though he didn't do it, at least again, I know in my heart that I'm a fair sportsman. I didn't cheat.
Yeah. As soon as you start blurring those lines, where are you going to stop?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's when you get drugs. Sport.
Oh, for sure.
It becomes more of what's the right word? Not so much sport, but like an activity where it's just used to create money. There's no pride in it. It's just used to generate income.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, which I can see they'll do that.
Yeah, you lose all your self-worth, and then it's all about a quick buck then.
Yeah. Then God knows where you'll stop. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And same as it's like when someone gets knocked down, and then the referee's like, all right, they start counting, and they just stay there and don't get up, and then that becomes a habit also. So getting knocked down and getting knocked out. It's like, oh, you could have got back up, but you could see that you didn't want to be there anymore. So
you see that often in fights, like where people, like, is it a reoccurring thing where someone will say get knocked out?
Well, what happens these days? So someone gets knocked down or knocked out, and then the fight's over, and then everyone gets on social media. Oh, don't worry about it, Johnny. We still love you. And he goes, oh, I didn't lose any fans. And then when that gets into a hard fight again, and he falls down again. It's like, oh, everyone still loves me. It doesn't matter if I stay down or not.
Yeah.
So, but.
It's a bit more dangerous in Muay Thai when your only way out is to either get knocked out or, go to points or something like that. Whereas I guess in like the MMA scene, you see guys, they'll tap or they'll find a way to get submitted. Yeah. And it's almost like a way. I mean, it's very difficult to accuse people of that, but you sometimes see it where like that was really, really easy, or they sort of just gave their back, they could get knocked out. Whereas what you're doing, there's no real easy way out of it. Yeah. You either got to take one on the chin or...
Yeah, we can't just...
there's no tapping.
So I went to a very famous gym in Montreal, a TriStar with George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
And then his trainer was saying, we're taking some photos or we're doing whatever. I was, oh, you Muay Thai guys are crazy. I'm looking and going, what the hell? You guys do MMA and you guys are elbowing the canvas. He goes, yeah, but if we get tired, we just take someone down and sit on top of them for a bit and do a bit of ground and pound and have a bit of a break, get our breath back, then we jump back up. Well, you guys just stand toe to toe and just trade blows all the whole duration.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all right.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah. They're looking at us like we're crazy. I'm looking at him like he's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's that mutual respect where it's like, oh, I'd rather do what I'm doing than what you're doing.
I was going to say, it's not always that easy to save energy and hop on someone and try and bash them because they're trying to get up on it. Yeah. Maybe George St. Pierre could do that successfully.
With Muay Thai, we've got 3-minute rounds and the MMA is 5-minute rounds. It's like, holy hell. And then they're getting tackled, getting back up again, getting tackled, getting back up. So their cardio levels through the roof.
You fought MMA?
I had one, but it wasn't very good. The gentleman I fought, he was approximately 20 to 25 kilos bigger than me.
Really?
Yeah, he was 16.
How did that get sanctioned?
So he was 16-0 in the cage. He was a bit of a big name here in Australia, and then he rang me out of the blue. He was the promoter as well. Oh yeah. He's like, hey, it's Tony. His name was Tony Bonello, and then he's like, hey, I just wondering, do you want to fight me in an MMA fight? It's like, no. You're sort of a heavyweight and I'm a little guy. Yeah. There would be no point. He goes, what happens if I offer you $35,000? Oh.
Now you speak my language.
You have my attention.
Yeah.
So I went to America for a couple of months. I tried to learn as much ground and escapes as I could.
Yep.
Came back.
Where'd you train over there?
I floated around to a few different gyms but then the plan was the stick and move because he was so big. I didn't want to get caught by this monster. And then I come into the cage first, and he came into the cage. And when he came into the cage, he was looking at the ground. And then the more I'm looking at him, I could notice that his lips were white and he was trembling. And it's like, holy shit, this guy's shitting his pants.
Really?
And then it's like, screw the game plan. I'm going for it. I'm going to try and knock him out. Why not? If he's so scared, I'm going to put some pressure on him, make him fold.
Yeah.
And then the bell started, and I sort of stalked him for a bit. And then he just ran at me like a gorilla and pressed me against the fence. And then he swept my leg out. And then he got on top position, tried to ground and pound. I held on nice and tight. And then I tried to buck him off so I could get back to my feet. And as I did that, I exposed my back and he got me in a rear naked. And the fight only went like 30 seconds or something.
Oh, yeah.
But, and then the worst part was that after the fight, I went to get my prize money. He said, unfortunately, all the money's gone through the venue. We have to wait for the money to get cleared. And then the next day, he flew to America. Yeah, he left me high and dry. Nothing. So yeah, he did a proper runner. So, but the good news was his co-promoter, Tyson's Pedro's dad, he ended up giving me a call saying, "Look, I'm so sorry, what's happened? I feel really bad. I'm gonna give you the money." So he paid me over a course of 12 months.
Yeah.
He's 5, he's 7, he's 2, he's 3, and he eventually got the money. But
that's almost better to get it that way because you don't get a lump sum. You pay off things as you go.
Yeah, but it sucked though.
That does suck. Yeah, that's more common in the old days, isn't it? Where guys would just shoot the gap.
Yeah, I don't think you paid the venue or the undercard or the lighting or the TV or didn't pay nothing. So
maybe that's why he was trembling.
Maybe I
can play this guy. Shit.
That's a good point.
So over in Canada, you train with GSP.
Yes. So what happened was I had a seminar tour where I did 10 seminars in 10 days. So I just went around the whole country, and then I had a few days spare. And I said, what do you want to do this? Abide the time. So, no idea. So the guy that brought me over, hey, would you like to meet George St. Pierre? He's in Montreal. He's an hour and a half away in the car. For sure, let's do that. So they gave the trainer a call, and I said, funny enough, tomorrow's Muay Thai sparring day. Does John want to jump and do some Muay Thai? So that'd be amazing. So we drive to Montreal, and then I walk in the room and I see all these people that I've seen on TV from watching the UFC all the time. It's like, holy shit, this is the real deal. And then the trainer's like, all right, George, you're gonna spar with John Wayne. And then I was like a little girl. I remember tapping his hand for the first time. Like, okay, George. So nice to meet you. I'm from Australia. You don't know I'm such a big fan. And then he's just looking at me like I don't think he had any idea who I was, which is okay. I didn't expect him to know who I was. And then the round started, and then I seen him fight Jake Shields and Josh Koscheck, and I noticed how fast his jab was, so I was really wary of his jab.
Yep.
But when we were sparring, it was like slow motion.
Yeah.
So I parried the jab, and he's down a kick, and I blocked that, and I blocked that. And after about 30 seconds, I thought, screw it. Let's have a crack.
Yeah.
So I ended up chasing him from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring. And then at one stage, he threw a lazy jab, and I've parried it to the side, and I've thrown my head kick up, and I've just left my shin right on his neck for a couple of seconds. Enough for the whole gym to stop, turn, and everybody gasp. And then I just took it off. And then after the spar, George come up, and he's like, hey, thank you so much for knocking me out, because anyone else would have taken me out, but it would have been their claim to fame, but you're polite enough to just leave it there. Say, that's all right, don't worry about it. It's what I do. And then we took some photos, and then I thought that was going to be it. And then a few months later, I was back home in Australia, and the phone rang, and it was the trainer. And it's like, hey, it's Faraz here. I'm sitting right beside George St. Pierre. He was so impressed with the spar you guys had that he'd love for you to come back and train him personally before the Johnny Hendricks fight.
Yeah.
So, really? Hang on just a sec. Hey, Angie, can I go to Montreal? Yep. Yeah, Mr. said yes, no problem. So a couple of days later, I jump on a plane, and then at the airport, there's George St. Pierre ready to pick me up.
No way.
And I said, holy crap. So we jump in the car, we drive to Montreal. He takes me to the hotel. This is the same hotel I like to keep all my guests. Freddie Roach, and he names all his names. It's like, damn. So I was getting the full VIP treatment, and then next morning he picks me up. We go and train. We go have a la carte lunches, a la carte dinners.
Yeah, he's a real celebrity there, isn't he? Yeah.
So he's won Canadian of the Year 2 or 3 times. So he's not just a famous fighter, but he's the face of Canada.
Yeah.
So you walk down the street and everyone's like, wow. So so he's scared of aliens. So at nighttime.
You play pranks on him?
At nighttime, he has to be in the club, so he's surrounded by people, so the aliens don't get him. So we'd have dinner about 10 o'clock. This is a good story. So we have dinner about 10 o'clock, and then he goes, do you want to go to the club? So, no, I'm good. I'm so tired. I've got jet lag. So I go home, and then I go back to the hotel, and the next morning we meet up, and he goes, man, you should have come out last night. I was with Leonardo DiCaprio all night. I'm like, no.
Oh, no shit.
No. So then the next night we have dinner, and he goes, hey, you want to come to the club? I'm like, I'm still flogged. I'm going to cruise home. All right. So next morning we'll catch up again. And then at breakfast time he goes, I should have came out last night. I almost got into a fight with the rapper Little John. It's like, what? Yeah, Little John, he did this and that. Next minute we're pushing each other and the security had to jump in. It's like, what the hell? So then the third night we have dinner and it's like, hey, you want to come to the club? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes. Yes. So then we get to the club and it was one of those clubs where it's shoulder to shoulder and the DJ's got one of those masks where the eyes are flashing the waitress are walking and all the sparklers coming out of the vodka bottles and it was like a full out scene out of a movie. And we've been there for about half an hour or so and we've got a little entourage. We've met about 10 or 15 of us. Next minute, the waitresses start picking up all the bottles in a hurry, frantically, and they move to the other side of the club. And I asked George, hey George, what's coming? What's going on? He goes, fucking Leonardo's coming. We've got to get out of here before he sees us. So what do you mean? He said, Leonardo's he never offers the pay. He brings the entourage. They drink all my piss. He's such an asshole. Let's get out of here before he sees us. It's like, no, see, I can't. He goes, yeah, you don't understand. Let's go. It's like, but it's Leonardo.
Yeah.
So my Leonardo story is I never got to meet him because George didn't want to share his alcohol with him. I'm spewing.
Yeah. He was burnt from a few nights before.
Bloody Leonardo. Damn that guy.
He sounds like he's a bit of a party animal out there in training camps.
So even when he's not drinking, he likes to go to the clubs just so he doesn't get abducted. That's
his reason.
He's been getting abducted since he was a kid. He's got all his sketchings of him back at his mum and dad's house that he keeps. The big greys, the big 7-footers with the big eyes. Yeah, they've been taking him. And every time they abduct him, they erase his memory. And when they erase his memory, he feels he gets a little bit dumber every time because they take not only the memory but a little bit of his normal brain as well. Like, I don't know how it works. But yeah, it's like Men in Black when they do the red light thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he's for serious.
He's trembling. As he's telling you, he's trembling.
Oh shit.
And then, but it doesn't just tell me. Every single person he tells the story to, he goes into that almost shock when he starts talking. Yeah, it's really in his psyche that he's getting abducted a lot, not just once, a lot.
He sounds like a super complex sort of a fella. Like he's apparently he's quite an intelligent guy.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
He gets dumber each time.
He's got a thing for dinosaurs. Loves dinosaurs. Yeah, he'll talk. He can tell you every single dinosaur and every single bone. And yeah, he's
sounds like a man with too much time on his hands.
He's a unique individual.
Yeah.
But super cool. But at the same time, it's like so the first couple of days I was with him. Every 10 meters is people taking photos. Hey, I'll take the photo. Yeah. And then after 3 or 4 days, you realize this isn't healthy.
Yeah.
1, he's not getting hardly any sleep. 2, he's constantly surrounded. Even in the car, you pull up at a red light and it's just George.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's no privacy at all.
You can tell that it'd be cool for a day or so. You get that, and then
the
afterwards,
first 3 days is like I've never met someone so famous before. And then after a while, it's like this doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
This is constant, night, day, morning. Every few mouthfuls of food at the shop, someone would come up, and the waitress, then the cook, then the manager.
Yeah.
And it was just like
that would be a suffocating feeling.
Yes.
Like you can see why guys like that, who you think have got everything and all the money in the world, all the fame in the world, but they're still lonely because they can't go out, they can't socialise with normal people, and then everybody who comes into their life, what's their agenda?
Yes.
You know, like what are they here for? What are they trying to get out of me?
Exactly.
That'd be really tough to have to.
Yeah, you don't know who your genuine friends are.
Yeah.
And,
you'd almost stick to just the people who knew you before everyone else knew you, and because at least you know what you get with them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So he had a couple of big guys that was for his security. So we go to the club, and then we're in this little hiding behind these 3 big guys, and then someone you got to stop people from taking photos because as soon as one flash goes off, the whole club will just start avalanching towards him.
Yeah.
So it's such a I'm lucky in Australia where I can walk down the street and maybe 1 or 2 hellos here and there, which is nice. It's just a little
it's nice
reminder.
to be acknowledged. Yeah.
It's nice to be nice, and then but for him, it's like walking with Jesus. It's like Jesus.
Yeah. Especially when people crowd around, just push you out of the way.
It's mad. So the worst one is, say for me to UOA, people get their phones and they do these ones.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing?
Without even acknowledging him, just,
what are you doing? Just ask me. I'm right here. I'm right here. Just ask me. I'm happy to do it. Just don't be sneaky about it. Don't be creepy.
Yeah.
So, but, super cool guy.
Do you get many offers from like fighters to fly you, because obviously you're a specialist, big time specialist, and something they should be good at? Or do you get many?
Not really. George is probably the biggest. I've been lucky to do some stuff with Brandon Vera and Ross Pearson down in Sydney. They flew me down for just a couple of hour session, and that was really cool. I've been very lucky to do seminars all around the world. So if I go to a country, I might do 6 or 7 seminars touring around the place. So it's a good way to see the country, see the culture, see the different gyms, and then come back with money in my pocket. It's amazing.
It's like a working holiday, isn't it?
So instead of paying money to go on holiday, I get paid to go on holiday almost. And then,
is that something you think, like now you're heading into retirement, have you been sort of preparing for this? Or is it something you've sort of thought you're just going to take it fight by fight?
Of something I've been putting off forever. Plan B is I've never...
Why do you think you put it off?
Because I'm scared. Because I don't want to work. I like my lifestyle. I like running and training and hitting pads and sparring, fighting, recovering, and then starting again. But to be the mundane and just to wake up and have a job, ew.
I don't think you're the sort of person who's going to be able to go into a 9 to 5.
Oh, no.
Do you think you'll just, you know with the fights, you have a fight announced, you go through all of that process until the fight night?
Yes.
And then do you find you have like a bit of, not anxiety, but a bit of apprehension when it comes to that time in between when you've stopped, you've completed that fight and the next fight announcement?
Yes.
Is that like the most relaxed time for you? When are you at your most relaxing? Because I would think like whenever there's a fight coming up, you'd always have that in the back of your mind that you're thinking, I've got in December or in 6 weeks time, 5 weeks time, I've got this. Like now you got 4 weeks to get to it. Do you have a relaxing time where you don't have to think about what's next?
Yeah, that gap in between fights is probably that time period. But it's also anxiety because you need the fight to make money. Yeah. So when you don't have a fight, it's like, what do I do? How am I going to pay for the rent? How am I going to pay for everything? So I like to be busy. If I can get 5-6 fights a year, I'm very happy. And then just before my last Japan fight, I had about a 16-month gap. And that was very difficult because money wise and you're training, but unless you got that goal, it's very hard to train every day because you're sore and it's like, well, what am I doing this for? And it gets very stale, but when you got a date, it doesn't matter how much you train because you know, all right, I got this amount of time. You can almost work backwards. You can push yourself through because you know it's so important to win.
So that anxiety is something you won't miss. Like you'll be able to.
No, I miss. I'm gonna miss not having the date. For now, even yesterday I was doing my morning run. I think this is my last fight prep. And it's so sad because I love what I do. Even at 43, I love getting up in the morning, having my coffee, chucking my shoes on, running 10Ks, coming back hitting pads, and then you feel alive. You feel exhausted, but at the same time, it's like, oh, that was cool. And then I teach for a little bit, go home, have something to eat, have a little sleep, and then afternoon I'm fresh again. Then run another 6Ks, more pads, more sparring, more bag, more whatever. Do a little bit more teaching. And then it's feels so good for my soul. I just feel like this is what I was put on earth to do, and then now I'm getting to the age where I can't do it anymore. It's like,
do you think it's something? Because I know your daughter fights as well, and obviously you got younger too.
I've got a 16, 11, and a 5.
Is that something that you think like you transfer your energy to that?
It's I like doing that, but at the same time it's not fighting. Fighting is so much fun. Fighting is everything.
It's crazy thing if it's fun. I get nervous thinking about having to get locked in a ring or something and punching someone.
I know. I was put on this earth to do it. There's no other.
So is there like another sport you're interested in that you would? Nothing.
No.
This is all.
I've wanted to be a fighter since I was 3.
I
because I lived in the country and I used to watch the martial arts movies and stuff. It's like I don't know what I want. Rock on Hulk Hogan was big back in the day, and
Yep.
you got Bruce Lee's and the Van Dammes. It's like I want to be a fighter. I don't know what, but I'm gonna fight something.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Brisbane when I was 11.
Where did you grow up?
Everywhere. So I was born in Albury, and then we moved a lot. And then at 11 we finally moved to Brisbane. So I started. There's a taekwondo school just up the road. So I started taekwondo first. Did that for about a year or so. And then they couldn't make the rent, so they closed down. And then about 6 months later, kickboxing came to the same hall that the taekwondo school was at. It's like, it's not taekwondo. I'll give this a go. And I'll do this to keep busy until I find another taekwondo school.
Yeah.
And then I started the kickboxing. It's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. And just at the same time I started that, the movie Kickboxer came out with Van Damme. So I was like, this is all happening for a reason.
I'm sure he was the cause of a lot of people wanting to be a fighter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so because I only just started the kickboxing, then the movie Kickboxer comes out. What's the chances?
Yeah.
And then this guy goes to Thailand, does all the business. That's what I want to do. I want to go to Thailand.
So what age did you move to Thailand?
19.
19. And that was always your goal? Sort of once you decided that kickboxing was where you wanted to be, Thailand's where you need to go.
It was my goal, but I didn't ever think it would come into reality. And then I was very lucky to pick up a sponsor here, Richard Vell, that owns the Bunja restaurant here in Broadbeach.
Yep.
He took me under his wing. He used to let me come down to his restaurant and eat once a week for a sponsorship.
Right.
And then once a week turned into every day, and then it got to the stage where I'd just sit in the back kitchen and we just talk about Thailand and Thai culture and Muay Thai, and I was so fascinated with this faraway land. I'd never been overseas at that stage, and it was so intriguing to hear these people wake up and they train and they fight, and this is their living, and it's like, this sounds perfect. And
that's the mecca. In every sport, there's like a mecca for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, like if you're into the NFL, everyone wants to go to the States, and you know, like surfing, you want to be in Hawaii, you want to be in, you know, Muay Thai. That's the promised land.
And then I'd had 2 or 3 fights with Richard, and then everything was going really well. And then I had a big fight in Noosa. I got dropped with leg kicks round 2. I got an 8 count, and then my leg was gone. So I kept hanging on to the guy and throwing knees, and then end of the 4th round, Richard came up and said, "Got one more round left. I need you to knock him out. I need you to win." He's grabbing me by the hair. "Come on!"
Yeah.
And so I was so upset that I was disappointed in him, that I really wanted to make him proud. So the last round I went there, went crazy, and then I ended up knocking the guy out with 30 seconds to go on the clock. So I won a South Pacific belt that night. So the next day I took the belt down to the restaurant. And it's like, yeah, we won, we did it.
Yeah.
And then Richard grabbed me by the hand, and we walked down to the travel agent. He goes, "I want one open ticket for 6 months to Thailand." And he's like, "All right." So he said, "You got to promise me you're going to stay 6 months. You can't just go for 2 or 3 months and dog it. You got to promise me you're going to stay 6. I say, "How can I stay 6? Easy."
Yeah.
So I rock up, and then when I don't know if you can see, this probably isn't good for a podcast, but so that was my bed for 4 years. So it's a wooden floor with a doona. So I put the doona.
You can't quite see.
So I put the doona on the wooden floor as my bed, and then and then check out my toilet. So this is my.
Oh, that's nice.
So you stand on the concrete, and then you use that blue container. So you rinse on, so your body's wet. Then you get the soap, you rinse off, and then you get the water, and then you.
It's basically a bucket with another bucket inside of it.
Yeah. So then all the water just runs out the hole on the side of the wall, so it just runs straight out. And then,
that's third world shit, isn't it?
And then you got a squat toilet, so you squat over that, and then there's no toilet paper. So let's say you've had some chilies and whatever with rice. And then so you squat over that, and then instead of having toilet paper, you get that blue container again, and you pour the water into your hand, and that's how you wipe your bottom. So, and then when you brush your teeth, then you got to use that same blue container, and you got to pour the water into your hand. And the worst part is, it's not just you, but you're sharing that same blue container with 10 other people, and they're all doing washing, showering, pooping,
holy shit,
brushing their teeth, pooping. Yeah, there's
how did you not get a disease or something there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. And especially when you run down, you're training, you run down, you have cuts. And
so you have 3-hour session in the morning. You sit on the floor, you eat your meals on the floor, you eat your rice. You get maybe 5 or 6 different dishes in the center. You're all sitting in a circle, and then you all have your legs crossed and you all eat have your rice. Then you go have a nap on the wooden floor upstairs, and then nighttime you train for 3.5 hours. Again, you eat on the floor. There's no couches, there's no TVs, there's no luxuries.
Yeah.
But it makes you very hungry.
I was going to say that's you're living and breathing it. So
and then on that room that I showed you, so you're sleeping side by side next to 10 other people, boom, 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 all dudes. And then in the middle of the night, you might get a leg on you or an arm across your chest. It's like, get off.
yeah,
get off. That's why I picked the wall, so I only have one dude on me instead of multiple. So yeah, if I slept there, then I only have one guy. But if I slept in the middle, and you got two guys coming at you either side. So yeah, it's rough.
But I guess that sort of roughing it makes everything worthwhile in the end.
Over there, it's normal. It's not even frowned upon. It's just like, it is what it is.
How long did you live like that?
4 years.
4 years straight?
Yep. Yeah, so when I come back to Australia, I had to learn how to sleep on a bed, and I had to learn how to speak English again because I'd been speaking. When I got there, I couldn't speak any Thai, and then after a few months, it's like, I have to learn this, otherwise, because no one spoke English, so I'd have to pick up, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? And then I'd try and learn 5 words a day, and then I'd sit on that all night, and then next day, all right, another 5 words. And then eventually they'd send me down to the street. They'd give me a sentence to say. So they'd say, Pom dongan nung nam kang nung tung, which means I want 1 bag of ice. And then you're saying that all the way down to the street, and you get your order in. It's like, well, if I change ice to something else, then I've got a sentence. Yeah. So then all of a sudden, and then after a little while, all of a sudden I'm singing Thai karaoke. So I'd buy the #1 selling CD, and then I'd press play, press pause, and I write down English like a karaoke, and then I'd remember the whole disc, and then we'd go to the nightclubs and they have a live band, and then they have a little bit of karaoke. Yeah. And I'd go up with my request, and they're going, okay, and there'd be no one on the dance floor, and I get the mic, and I start pumping out the Thai song, and all of a sudden all these girls and all these guys start coming on the dance floor and start dancing, and then the band would finish the song, and they're like, psst, know any more songs? Mate, I know the whole album. So yeah, I'd sing like 3 or 4 songs in a row, and everyone's dancing. The dance floor is full, and it's like, when I retire from Muay Thai, I want to be a Thai singer.
There you go.
This is the greatest. This is awesome. It was
we just found where you can go.
It was such a buzz. It was so cool back in the day. Yeah. I probably wouldn't do it now, but back then, it was really cool. It was so much fun. It was just the buzz to see people react. It's like, I'm a Westerner, I don't even know what I'm saying, but you guys are dancing, this is cool. Now I know what I'm saying, but back in the day I was just guessing. Yeah.
So you were there 4 years straight, you didn't come home at all?
I'd come home for Christmas for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I could jump back on the plane straight away.
Straight back.
And then another full year. Well, the first one was 6 months. I had 5 wins, and then the next one was a full year. Went for a full year, and then I came back, and then the camp would ring up and say, hey, he's got big potential, can you send him back again? Yeah, sure. So I go back another full year, come back again, hey, we just got a phone call from Japan, can you send him back again? So I go back again for another full year, and then I just kept snowballing. Yeah. So I ended up having approximately about 40 fights in Thailand in that time frame. Got to be the first Aussie to do so much stuff. Fight the Lumpini for the first time. Be the first Aussie at the King's birthday. I was the first Westerner to make the #1 selling Muay Thai magazine. Yeah. I got voted the strongest Westerner in Thailand for 1997. And just little things just kept escalating. And because there wasn't many Westerners back then, it was really easy to shine. Yeah. You win a few fights on TV, and all of a sudden everyone knows you.
You'd stick out, wouldn't you? Even to the public.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Because which area were you in?
Bangkok.
You're in Bangkok. Right?
Yeah. So on the when I made the front cover, they called me the dangerous kangaroo. Yeah. So and then because my name was John Wayne, so they have this. It's called a rumway. They do a dance before the fight to try and summon all the gods, give them protection and everything else. And then usually at the end, if you want to be a bit showboaty, you can throw bow and arrows at your opponent and everything else. Yeah. So because I was a cowboy, we would come up with their own dance. Yep. So I'd throw a bow and arrow, and then I'd pretend to miss, and then throw another one, pretend to miss. So I'd throw that away, and then I'd get my 6 shooters out, and I'd start shooting. And I'd blow the barrels and give them a twirl and put them back in my pocket. And then it'd be almost a standing ovation from everyone, because they'd never seen it before. Yeah, yeah. And then
so that's where the gunslinger came from.
Just taking that little bit of Western culture into it, and they're like freaking out. They're like, "Holy crap, this is awesome!" So I think because of that dance, it helped me really get famous really fast.
Yeah.
And then in the mornings I'd be running down the road, and then the Thais have a big thing with flashing their lights and tooting their horns.
Yeah.
And, they accepted me as one of them, even though I was a Westerner. Everyone, I think because I was trying to be Thai.
I was going to say, is that because you were trying to involve yourself in what they were like singing Thai karaoke?
Yeah,
that shows that you were actually trying to blend in. Because that's some of the worst thing what people do when they go to a country. They expect their country to mold to them.
Yeah, I did. I pretty much became a white version of a Thai.
Yeah.
And they accepted it. And then even if there was a close fight, no one ever was rude or disrespectful, or I never felt like I was injustice. I always felt like I was one of them.
Like it was stacked against you. You mean like?
Yeah.
So you never felt like, oh, they're not gonna,
Yeah. And then sometimes, let's say if I was fighting down south of Thailand, I jump on the bus and I'd be only Western on the bus, and then hey everyone, it'd be two double-decker bus. If anyone wants to go downstairs and play cards to pass the time.
Yep.
So I just wander down, and then all of a sudden there's all these reporters and all these famous fighters and all these managers, and I'd be sitting there playing cards for like 10 hours on a bus with all these.
Yep.
And then by that stage I could speak fluent Thai too, so that which really helped. And then I was just one of the boys in.
Yeah. Sounds like you have such fond memories of that time in Thailand. Like
it was so cool.
Is that something because that was such a beneficial start for you? You know, that 4 years or however long. How long all up? Probably
5 years all up.
5 years all up. So that 5 years really probably molded you to everything you needed to be moving forward.
Oh, for sure.
And do you think that's something you encourage your kids to go and do?
Oh,
if they want to continue
my daughter's on it now.
Yeah.
So she went to Thailand last year. So
better living situation though.
Yeah, so I went with her. She only went for 2 weeks to start. I should give her get her toes wet, and I went for 2 weeks. First day there, I get an infection in my leg.
Oh yeah,
I'm in hospital for 7 days, and then she has to go and fight in the country, 12 hours away, and I'm stuck in hospital. I can't leave. My leg's agony. I think they're going to cut my leg off.
Was that bad?
Yeah, it was so bad.
What was it from? What caused it?
Cellulitis. So yeah, just I had a little blister in my shin. The infection got in my blister, come up, and then it started affecting my glands. So my hip glands and everything was just agony.
Yeah.
So I couldn't leave the hospital. So she has to
That's
go.
like a clotting, isn't it? Like a.
Oh, I have to be careful. It doesn't clot.
Yeah.
And then if they don't stop the infection, then it gets into your bone, and they have to start amputating.
Oh shit.
So luckily they got on top of it when they did. But yeah, so I'm in the hospital. She has to go 12 hours with the trainer. I'm thinking, oh, poor little thing. Dad's not there.
Yeah.
She's gonna freak out. And then over there in Thailand, if it's on TV, that's free. It's a free show because they're making all their money from the TV rights. So people will drive for 2 or 3 hours to come as a live TV show to see real superstars fight each other.
Yep.
And then she's on this card, thinking, oh no. And then she has the greatest fight ever, and I'm watching on TV in the hospital going, she's fighting friggin' amazing. This sucks. She doesn't need that anymore. This is sad. This is really sad.
That's probably a blessing in disguise
and then
for her.
she won. It's like, oh my God, she won. So her first Thailand experience, she got to live the dream and to win too. Yeah. So hopefully she's going to go back and then do it end of the year and all again. So this time without me. She's got another girl that trains in the gym that's a little bit older that's going to chaperone her. So
that's probably like a blessing in disguise. You not being able to make it because then, otherwise she might always rely on you a little bit and think, Dad's always here,
Yeah.
But the fact she can do it herself, that's awesome.
Yeah, she was only 15 at the time too. Yeah. So now she's 16. She's a little bit older and wiser.
Yeah. And you would have felt helpless in that bed.
It sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked so bad. And then I missed my plane. My plane with my plane out of there was Tuesday. And my leg was still in a condition where I couldn't stand up. Otherwise all the blood would rush down.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up leaving on the Thursday. And they said, as soon as you get back to Australia, make sure you go straight to hospital. So I arrived, went straight to Robina. They've looked at my leg and they go, yep, you're in straight away.
Yeah.
So spent another 4 days at Robina Hospital as well.
Yep.
So it was a rough ride, but
are you fully recovered from that now?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So it's cellulitis is it sucks. I've had it a couple of times. The first time I had it, same sort of deal. Had a little blister, infection got in, then I spent 7 days at Gold Coast Hospital, and then every 6 hours they have to give you the strongest antibiotic to try and kill it, and it's just like battery acid in your veins. So they try and rub your veins, and then after an hour it starts cooling down. And then I was there for 7 days, so every time you see the nurse come around the corner with the little syringe, you start walking up the bed going, please do it slowly.
Yeah.
And they're like, I've got to go. I'm in a hurry. Sorry. It's like, what have you done?
Yeah.
And then next hour you're just in agony again. So I highly recommend it. Stay hygienic. Don't get the bug.
Yeah. And that's crazy to think. Imagine if you got some of that when you're in your 4 years. You know, like that. Because you're living in squalor. That's not.
Yeah. They have in Thailand they have these things called fees, which is equivalent to a boil. And you get boils all the time, and you got to go and get them lanced and all the pus cut out, and that's just another day. And then the diarrhea. You would have diarrhea probably 3 out of the 7 days of the week.
Gets better.
Oh yeah.
Because spicy food too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The boys that I live with, they're all from a place called Nong Khai near the Laos border.
Yeah.
And they eat even spicier again. So then when we sit down for our lunch or dinner, the Thai boys look at me. This one, no. This one, no. This one, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything was just fire. And then it gets to the stage after a while. It's like you gotta realize if I don't eat, I'm gonna starve. So I gotta hook in, I guess.
That's a weird that's a crazy sacrifice to
Yeah.
go, look, this is what I want to be, I'm going to go. And it gets the best time to do it too when you got no dependents.
Yes.
Just you.
Yeah.
You're young, you got no
And this is
outgoings.
before mobile phones and internet. There's no social media. They didn't even know what social media was.
Yeah.
So I pretty much vanished from Australia. And then I did all this stuff, and I came back, and then no one had an understanding. If I'd be the first Australian to fight at this famous Lumpini Stadium, which is the Mecca.
Yep.
So all I could do was write a letter to Mum. Hey Mum, you wouldn't believe it. Got to be the first Aussie to fight Lumpini last night. So I'd send a letter, and it was a week to get to Australia, then a week for a reply. So 2 weeks later, congratulations, son. So proud of you.
Yeah. How'd you go?
And then, but these day and age, everyone's like, photos and
you live stream it, couldn't you? They'll be able to watch from their living room.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if I had been doing what I did back then in this day and time, I would have been the Conor McGregor of Muay Thai for sure. But unfortunately that wasn't around. But I'm still happy that I got to achieve everything I got to achieve.
Do you think that's what? Because Muay Thai isn't as popular as UFC or boxing, things like that. It's a little bit lower profile. Do you think? What do you think the reason is for that? Like not as many high profile people doing it, or there's no
exposure.
We
need TV. When I was on a TV reality show called The Contender Asia, and when I was on that, it was exposed on Fox 8. So instead of being on Fox Sports, you're in the lounge rooms of people that never watched Muay Thai before, and because they told our stories. All right, you knew this guy had a family. You knew this guy was a street thug. You knew this guy was something.
Yeah.
And then you invested in the person, so you wanted them to win because you like their character, or you like their style, or you like this or that. Whereas without the TV, when it comes on air, you see Joe Bloggs versus Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
You have no idea who they are, and you're just watching, and it's like, all right, the technique's beautiful, but you're not invested.
Not invested, exactly.
Whereas with UFC, I can tell you exactly what kind of dog this guy has, or what kind of bedroom that color guy has in his room, and you just know everything about everybody in the UFC because there's so much exposure. And
especially social media too, you can follow them, you can see what they're doing day to day, if they're good on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're running the Rouseys back in the day, and just anybody. If you're following them, it's a different world.
You're in everybody's living room, now.
And plus the road to UFC is the embeddeds. So you're watching them train, you're watching them sleep, you watch what they do on their pastime, on their free times, and it's you're on the ride with them all the way to their title shot.
Yeah. So you think that's mainly the reason? No one knows who anyone is because there's no stories told.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then another thing with the Muay Thai is there's too many world titles. So what happens is there's this title, and then someone will go out and goes, I'm sick of all these titles, so I'm going to make a new title, and this is going to be the next genuine one. And everyone will like it for a little bit, then that one will fade, then someone else will come on board, and I'm going to change the world with my new title.
Yeah.
And then you're just adding more mess.
Similar to boxing. Boxing's a little bit like that too.
Yeah,
Boxing's
getting sad now. Boxing's getting really crazy.
You think you can't keep up with who's got what titles?
So the saddest part was, so I went to Thailand, beat all these Thais, won a world title in Bangkok in front of 100,000 people.
Shit.
Yeah, so, and then I've come back to Australia, and then a guy from Brisbane's fought a guy from Sydney for a world title, and all of a sudden we're equal.
Yeah.
For the general public, he's a world champion,
yeah.
he's a world champion, so they're the same.
Yeah.
It's like, no. But trying to tell it to people, it's like, you don't understand, I just fought this proper killer, and he's fought, oh mate, this friggin' down the road.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but for the public, well, if you're a champion, he's a champion. What's the difference? There's too many.
Yeah.
It's
So just solidify it. And is that sort of what? Because you started the cage Muay Thai, didn't as well? Is that what sort of avenue you were trying to go down with that, where you could do a bit more storytelling?
I was a big fan of UFC and MMA, and then I was jealous. I was jealous of the cage, and I was jealous of the MMA gloves. So I want to do that. I want to fight in a cage. I want to fight in MMA gloves. But I don't like the ground. I don't know jiu-jitsu. I tried jiu-jitsu for a little bit. I think my very first class, we were doing a little bit of rolling, and I've put my finger down, and then as my finger hit the mat, my hand turned and I broke my finger. My very first MMA class, I broke my finger. I thought, oh, screw this. I've had 25 years of Muay Thai, never had injury. One MMA class, and one jiu-jitsu class, and I broke my finger. So, and I'm laying in my bed that night thinking, how can I fight in the cage but not have to learn jiu-jitsu? And then it's got that light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Why don't I just do my rules? We're promoting shows anyway with the ring. I'll just change the ring and hire a cage, and then there we go. And then I looked on YouTube to see if anyone had done it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I thought, MMA gloves as well. I really wanted an experience. I could see that UFC guys got doing it. It's like, I wonder what it's like to get punched with those things. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well go all out.
Yeah.
So, and then trying to sell it to people for those first few shows. All right, so I'm going to use a cage, but there's no ground. It's going to be Muay Thai, but it's going to be MMA gloves, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
But we ended up doing 10 shows, and it was amazing. Every single fight, from the first fight to the main event, was so exciting because the gloves are so small. And then when you hit someone with those small gloves on, you know how much potential damage that you're doing. So you just go into this frenzy, where you go into this bloodlust, where you just want to just smash. It's such a getting hit with them sucks, but as you're hitting people with them, it's a really good
you
buzz.
feel connected a bit more.
You have to be. Because the boxing gloves are so big, I thought I knew how to fight, and then when I put the MMA gloves on, all of a sudden half my face is exposed. It's like, I'm so open now. It's just changed the game from big gloves to little gloves, and then having my fingers exposed for the first time, and just working out different not staying in the pocket so long, because you know that if you do get caught, you're going down big time. So it was so exciting because it was so new.
Did you have to change your guard up a little bit for
change
that?
Your guard. So with boxing gloves, you can have your hands closed and it covers your whole face, but with the MMA gloves, you've got to have your open palms to try and cover your head. And it's just, from a ring to a cage as well. When you go in a ring, you go through the ropes, and you're still with the crowd's just there. You go in the cage, and all you can see is the black wall of the fence. And once they close the fence, it's just you, your opponent, and the referee. And you don't even see the referee; he just comes in the peripheral vision every now and again. But it's just you and him for that whole duration of the fight. It definitely feels like an arena.
More like gladiatorial a little bit, where you're locked in there.
Very.
You actually shut a door, right? It's like you're in a room.
It's much more chaotic and violent.
Have you got any more plans to do any more of those?
Possibly in the future, yes. Now with my idea, there's a company in Asia called 1FC, and they've taken it and they run with it and they're killing it. So now that they're doing it, they're bringing more exposure to what I started. So I think people have a better understanding of what I'm trying to do now with that sort of promotion wise, and a lot of people want to jump in as well. So I don't have a shortage of fighters that are willing to put their hand up either. So
that's the cage Muay Thai seems. It's like a nice spin that sort of brings it up, and that might be the one thing that can get the exposure, and then telling the stories and of the people that are involved. And then obviously, did you ever have a title with that?
Yes.
So you did.
We did a few different matches. We'll end up winning five known belts. So we made the belts very similar to the Thai belts, the shields. We were going really well at one stage, but then the last two shows, the fights are amazing, but didn't quite get the crowd numbers, and I lost a little bit of money. So I lost money on the 9th one. So then did the 10th one, then lost a little bit more money again. It's like, I can't afford to keep putting these on if I'm running at a loss. So give it a bit of break, make the people excited to come back again. So when the time's right, we'll bring them back.
Could be a good transfer of energy with your focus coming off fighting a bit more. You can focus on something like that.
It's hard when you're the promoter and the main event also. There's so much stress, and then when you're walking out the fight and then not see the venue full, you know that you lost money.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. It's like
That's not what you should be focusing on, is it?
It's gonna suck. This sucks.
Yeah.
So to take out my frustration, this guy's gonna die. So in that respect, you get it back pretty quick.
Yeah. you got a good avenue to get rid of your frustration.
Yeah.
What's the go with so your gym when you came back from Thailand after those 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Did you struggle to find places to train around?
My sponsors that looking after me, I came back to Australia, had a fight, and they're like, okay, I think it's time for us to open a gym and do everything else. And I was like, I'm sort of so much more I want to achieve in Thailand. I want to try and win a Lumpini title, and I want to try and do this and that.
Yep.
So they supported me. They sent me back to Thailand again. And then while I was away, they one of the other guys went behind my back and said, let's build the gym anyway. And then when Wayne comes back, we can take it over. So then they were just about having it finished, and in that time I had a shin infection. I had to get my shin lanced to get all the bad blood out of my shin. I wasn't allowed to kick for 3 months. So I thought it might be time to come back to Australia. It might be time to move back home again. And when I got home, the gym was almost finished. So we started from the bottom and just started having people coming in, and within about 12 months we were probably one of Australia's leading gyms in Australia by that stage. So it didn't take long. What's the saying? If you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I had people rocking up from everywhere saying, hey, can I be part of the team? So for sure.
Yeah, join.
Yeah. So it's been really cool. Back in the day, if we had 5 fighters on a card, we'd have 5 wins, 4 fighters, 4 wins, 6 fighters, 6 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, we were killing it. It was really good. And then so been doing that since end of '99, so nearly 20 years.
That's how long you've had that gym for?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we were in Mermaid first for 5 years, and then we moved here back in 2006.
Yeah.
So
that's such a good spot down there too.
Oh, amazing!
Being close to the headlands, you get to run around that headland every day and
twice a day.
Twice a day. Okay.
Twice a day. Run around the headland. Run around flays. It's just when people get international guests or interstate guests.
Yeah.
So I got to come for a run. I don't really like running that much.
So good
Trust
that area.
Trust me. So we'll go for a run, and then when you come around the headland, and all of a sudden surface opens up.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you. Look at this. This is a postcard.
Yeah. It's so we're so fortunate in this area with that little training environment, because Gold Coast is such a good just environment in general for because it's always warm.
Yes,
you've always got somewhere to go. The weather really slow. It's not like you look outside and it's snowing, so you think, I'm gonna run on a treadmill.
So when you come around the headland there, so if the surf's good too, you'll see 50 guys out there with their boards, and then while you're coming back that last bit, you're actually running with the guys catching the waves, so you're sort of going side by side.
Yeah,
it's such a buzz. It's so cool, and every single day, even though it's the same run, depending on where the sun's at or what kind of weather conditions are, it's a different view every single day. So if the surf's up or if the surf's flat, or it's every day is a different environment. But it just makes it, and then because I'm doing the same run every day, you're always seeing the same people. Hey, morning Joe, morning Steve. Yeah. And then, when are you fighting again? 2 weeks. Good luck. Yeah. It feels like a Rocky movie. Every time I run around Burleigh, it's like a Rocky scene.
Do you think you continue to run?
I hope so.
Yeah.
With my injuries, hopefully after I get all those little nigglies fixed, I couldn't imagine life without running.
Yeah.
So I do 10Ks in the morning, 6Ks in the afternoon, 5 days a week. And then if I do a 10-week camp, so 16 times 5 times 10. So it's a lot.
Lots.
Yeah. And then, times 20 years. So
what's a day like you said before, Dave? A day of training for you now is run every morning.
Yep. So
get there, run.
Wake up, run 10Ks, come back. Either this one's I'm just boxing, but I'm either, when I was doing Muay Thai, I was either 3 or 5 rounds on the pads, do my sit-ups and push-ups and everything else, and then afternoon come back again, only run 6, but more intensity on the pads. So I'll do 2 boxing pads, 5 Thai pads, and then 2 leg shield pads. So 9 3-minute rounds, and then maybe some sparring and some drills and some bag, and then back in Thailand anyway, you're expected to train harder than you did yesterday every single day.
Yeah.
So no matter how hard I train today, they want me to train harder tomorrow. It's like this is so hard.
It's draining. And
when you're in Thailand too, there's no remorse, there's no sympathy. So if you saw that's not our problem, that's your problem.
Yeah.
It's train harder, walk in harder, faster.
Yeah.
And there's so much on the line too. So sometimes they have the thing called a dern pun. So if I'm fighting you and we think we can beat you, and say, hey, you want to have a lazy bet? With between 10 of our friends, we want to make 100,000 baht, so $5,000.
Yeah.
So he'll put in 10,000, he'll put in 20,000. And then you put all your money in, and whoever wins gets the pot.
Yeah.
And then out of that, the boxer gets 20% of their winnings, and everyone else gets handed their
winnings.
cut.
Yeah.
So and sometimes
that'll just happen in a training gym.
With all the friends in the neighborhood, not just in the gym, but they call their cousins, their besties, their shops, anyone that can help. So sometimes it might be 100,000, sometimes it might be 1 million, sometimes it might be 5 million. It's and then just bricks of cash.
And so will they hit you up and say, "Oh, can you fight this? Do you want to do it, or do you have the option to say no, or you're told?"
No, you're just told.
Oh shit!
You're just told, oh, by the way, the whole town has money on you, so don't lose. It's rough. It's rough, and a wee bit of pressure when you know that everyone's life depends on you winning or not.
That's when you don't get beat that and the lights flash when you're running. It's when they're swerving towards you. Yeah.
So that was good back in the day. Even if I lost, I'd walk up my street and all the Thais yell at me, "What are you doing? We watch the TV. Why you lose? Why you lose?" But everyone in good spirits, so no one's saying it at nastiness.
They're great people. They're not a malicious culture, are they? Though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So if you lost, you ask them, "Hey, do you know where this place is?" Like, yeah, sure. Jump on the back. They'll jump on the motorbike. They'll take you there. They'll drop you off. They don't expect a thank you. They're just like, there you go. And they were a bit chilly here. Have my shirt. It's like crazy. It's so crazy. And they got nothing. They're lucky to survive from day to day, and yet they're happy to let you. Here, sleep in. Oh, do you want some food? What just happened? Or got a bit of extra rice here.
Happiest people.
The poorer they are, the happier they are. It's so crazy. Then you come back to Australia, and we have everything, and everyone's depressed. And everyone's friggin'...
everyone's doing it tough somewhere, right?
Everyone's sad, and everyone's this, and oh no, I didn't get enough likes on my Facebook or Instagram post. Oh, woe was me. And then you got other people here that they're wondering how they're going to feed their 4 kids. And they're like, hey, I got a joke. It's like, holy crap, this is just different mentalities of...
Would you ever move back there? Or do you think you're too invested here now?
I'm pretty happy here. I bought my house, I bought my gym. And then I like my lifestyle. Gold Coast weather is perfect. Gold Coast people are perfect. Everything's 20 minutes away. We're in Bangkok. Bangkok traffic's so hideous. You might get stuck for 4 hours, but if you want to go 10 kilometers up the road. So.
And it is a real... Well, it's not real third world, is it? But it's parts of it are.
Oh no, it's definitely third world. It's definitely rough.
But everyone, they got the big camps up there now, which is just nothing compared to the stuff like those photos you were showing. You see some of the like Tiger over there, like that. They're red hot camps, like they're proper.
But they're built for Westerners. They're not Thai style. So back in when I went '96, the Thais didn't want Westerners at all. They thought we were the enemy because we were going to learn their trade secrets and then come back and start beating it at their own sport. So no Westerners, and then all of a sudden 1998 the economy crashed and everyone was like instantly poor. Now everyone was like, all the Thai boxing, because people lost half their wages, they couldn't afford to go to the fights, and the promoter couldn't afford to pay their fighters, and then all the fighters retired, and I was like, oh, this sucks. So then the camps had to start welcoming Westerners so they could survive. All right, pay us 10,000 baht for a month's training. Like, well, that was pretty easy. So if we get 5 foreigners paying 10,000 baht each, now we're cruising. And then all of a sudden there was an influx of Westerners everywhere. So it's pretty hard to go to a camp now. It's just purely Thais. It's just every camp has Westerners now.
So with your fight coming up now with boxing, like how much has that changed your training? Have you decided?
I boxed in 2001 for a whole year. And then I went to America back in 2002 for a year, and I came back 2003, and then I started taking shortcuts where I'd take a Muay Thai fight, then a boxing fight, then a Muay Thai fight, then a boxing fight, and then my very last boxing fight I fought a gentleman called Sakya Bika, and he was like a proper killer where no one wanted to fight him because of his punching power. And then we had a 12-round fight. He ended up beating me on points, and 2 or 3 fights later he went to England. Fought Kazaki, got beaten in like fight of the year, and then I think the fight after that he won the WBC world title, and that was a realization where I can't I can't take shortcuts now. I'm either going to box 100% or Muay Thai 100%. Because even though they're both fighting, they're completely different contrasts in body weight and footwork and head movement. So it's like,
you're not tuned into one specifically if you keep changing.
Yeah. So with the boxing, your body weight tends to be front foot heavy, and Muay Thai your back foot heavy, and your lead leg's nice and light to block leg kicks. So I come to the decision when I was boxing. I was just sort of stuck in Australia, going from RSL clubs and 5,000 people. Whereas when I was Muay Thaiing, the prize money wasn't as flash, but at the same time I was traveling all over the world, and fighting in front of anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000 people. So I was like, I want to live I want to be. I can either be a good boxer or leave a legacy in Muay Thai. So I decided to take the Muay Thai route.
Yep.
And then I'm so glad I did. Now my prize money is really good. I'm making just as much, if not more, if I was a boxer.
Yep.
I've seen the world multiple times over. I'm very lucky to have a profile all over the world now too.
Yeah.
Whereas had it been just boxing, who knows?
And that enables you, like you said before, to earn while you travel too, like to be able to go and do the seminars and everything around the place.
So even though I don't have a bank account that's like a Mayweather or anything, I have life experience that's priceless. To see the world for free and to fight in all these different countries and
sometimes that slumming it is better memories too. Like if you've had to struggle your way through it, you remember it and you cherish it a little bit more than if you was all expenses paid. I mean that'd be handy, but it's like you've earned it and you've
for sure
done the hard yards to get there.
So it's it's been so much fun. I've had such a crazy career and such a fun career, and it's gonna be sad. Boo 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 boo. Yeah.
You're wrong. So the boxing's next. It's all like all the focus is on that now.
So
all the focus is all your punching and
last hurrah, last one, 100%. No corners cut. Anthony Mundine's the face that I dream of. Fighting every single day. With Mundine, so when I met him, like proper introduction, like, now we're going to fight each other. We had our face off about 2 months ago. So the first thing, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really appreciative of this chance to fight you. This is going to be crazy. He goes, no, I've been a fan of you forever. I've seen all your stuff. I know what you're doing. If anything, whatever's said between now and the fight, just understand that it's bums on seats. Everything's about bums on seats. So just don't get offended. It's just
it is what it is.
It's just business. And he said, in fact, I encourage you to talk shit. Add me to Instagram and then tag me, and then we'll just have a laugh. We'll just try and we'll rile up the crowd and we'll poke each other, and it's like, this is like wrestling. This is like WWE. This is crazy.
He seems to be someone that understands the game though.
But so he's got all this money, but everyone hates him. And it's like, all right, this is going to be my last fight. And I've got every single person in Australia coming up and, mate, all the best for your last fight. We're cheering for you. Whereas Mundine's going, I hope you get knocked out. I hope you get smashed. And to go out on that note, it'd be so sad. Sure, he's got money in the bank, but at the same time, I'd rather be cheered by the fans and have little kids come up and shake their hands and get photos. And to me, that's worth more than money, because money comes and goes. But to have people's respect, I think that's more important to me anyway. At the same time, I've never owned a Lamborghini either. I'm sure I own a Lamborghini could be better than.
That'd be nice of a payday, wouldn't it?
Get out of here, kids! Get out of my way. I'm trying to drive my car. But no, I like where I'm at. It's just I look at his stuff and I actually, even though he's my future opponent and I shouldn't have any feelings towards whatever, but at the same time I can't help but feel sad for him, because he has done so much. Even people have the different opinions of him, and he has said some controversial stuff in the past, but the guy is a professional and an amazing athlete for what he's done in rugby, what he's done in boxing. To bring the boxing back again and to make it exciting and put it back in the...
he did put it on the map a little bit for Australia when it was low. He's got that Mayweather feel about him where actually people tune in to watch him lose.
Yes, exactly.
And
exactly.
That'd be hard.
And that's the hard part, because this is his last one, and now they're still hoping he loses. Even after all these years of him shining and winning belts and doing everything that he's done,
That'd be emotionally difficult to deal with going in there knowing everyone wants you to lose.
Yeah.
Mind you, you might have felt that way a little bit.
Yeah.
In Thailand, being a Westerner, thinking, people think they probably want you to be, you're the victim.
Oh, I never had that. I never felt insecure once. I'd always have Thai people coming up and wish me the best.
Oh, yeah. I suppose they're a different culture, aren't they? They want everyone to do well. And
yeah, I think if you're a nice guy, people recognise you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
And with this fight too, as soon as the fight was matched, without even doing anything, everyone's like, "Oh, I hope you smash him." And like people I've never heard of or talked to, or coming out of the woodwork on the runs now in the mornings, I'll have about 20 people yell at from their cars, or "Smash him for me." It's like, "Oh, I don't know who you are." Yeah,
thank you. We'll do. Yeah.
I was gonna smash him anyway, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's really, and then I'm getting friends I haven't talked to in 15, 20 years. They're ringing me up all of a sudden, say, "Hey, remember me?" Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then,
why are you calling me now?
Yeah, exactly. I've had all 146 fights. No one's given a shit about me, and now all of a sudden I'm fighting Mundine. Now everyone cares.
Yeah.
I'm really learning with my own eyes the how success changes people's opinions of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're fighting Muay Thai and fighting these guys, and no one cares, but now all of a sudden you're up there. Yeah, it's interesting to see how people want things from you all of a sudden. What can you do that's going to benefit me?
Yeah. So there's an agenda every time.
Yeah,
it's like we were speaking about before. You sort of got to stick with the people.
And I thought if I was with these people, I thought we were all tight. Now I'm realizing you're only using me all this time. This sucks.
Yeah.
So in that respect, but I'm learning how to cut people off now. I can only take so much shit now. It's like, no, stop. You're the asshole, not me. I know I'm just being me. You're the one that's trying to use me.
Yeah.
So
has that been a big issue? Has it with this?
Just this fight alone. Just seeing different people just coming out of the woodwork is very frustrating.
Yeah. Is it because of the profile in Australia?
Yeah, just because I'm fighting Mundine, all of a sudden everyone's changes. Everyone's.
But in actual fact, this fight was nowhere near probably the biggest.
I thought bigger fights and scarier people and bigger crowds and
probably recently with Bellator and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, and Thailand. Yeah. Thailand was so scary because when I first got there, I had 13 fights, and then even after a year or so, I only had 25 fights, and I'm fighting guys with 200, 300 fights. Yeah. Like proper killers, and I'd watch them fight first at the big stadiums, and I'm thinking, hey, you're supposed to fight these guys, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, now you're matched with that guy.
Yeah.
I can't fight that guy. And then you get in there and you win. It's like, I can't believe I not only shared that, I beat him. So
it's like it must be a crazy feeling to know how huge all these achievements are overseas.
Yeah.
But back here, probably wouldn't even made the paper.
Yeah. And the only thing that's going to be a little bit different is because it is boxing. It's a little bit different. So just fine tuning my boxing skills again after so long being out of the ring. I'm wearing shoes again. It's very tricky because I'm so used to gliding with my feet. I know exactly where the canvas is, and when I put shoes on, that couple of mil difference. And my shoes are super grippy, so if I go to take a step and it digs into the canvas, I end up going flying. It sort of sucks. I lose all my man license in one move.
Straight over.
Trying to throw a cool combo.
Like in a camera zone, they're watching. I think you've been had it.
Yeah, and then you're trying to impress the ladies. Hello, ladies.
So the plan. What's the plan for this fight? Is it like? Are you looking to?
So have you heard the phrase "violence isn't the answer"?
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is. It is.
It definitely
so
pure violence is what's going to get it done.
Violence is the answer.
Yeah.
I got to hit him.
I don't think they were speaking about combat sports when they came up with that quote, but yeah.
I got to hit him more than he hits me. Yeah. Harder, more consistently, until he's sleeping. But I'm gonna pressure him so much that he can't breathe. I'm gonna feel like by the 4th, 5th, 6th round, he's gonna feel like he's suffocating. Yeah. And that's my style. It's been my style the whole time, whether it be Muay Thai or boxing.
Relentless, like a conditioned relentless fighter.
Yeah. Even if I'll be just out of your range, but at the same time, you know that if you make a mistake, I'm gonna capitalize. Yeah. So, and then with Mundine's boxing record too, I think he's had like one fight for the last 4 or 5 years. One fight a year, and it's very hard to maintain that fight fitness.
Yeah, that's not a lot, is it?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's like if you're a marathon runner, if you do one marathon a year, but if you're marathon running regularly, you got that base fitness. So I'm very lucky to come back just from Japan. I've already got my fight fitness there. All I've got to do is maintain, if not increase it a little bit more.
Yep.
And I know I'm good for 10 rounds, even 15 rounds. Put me in the worst case scenario and I'll be able to fight my way through, all the way through. Chin to my chest and just swinging.
Yep.
I might not land every time, but I might throw 8 punches before I land one. But if that one lands, it's on. It's on. So if you're a betting man, and I'd quite confidently put $1 on me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm off to the TAB.
Yeah, and this is because it was my last fight too. I've done so much, just like Mundine. I've done so much in my career. I just want to finish on that high. I want to finish on that. To be regarded as a champion. Everyone's going, oh, you've done so much anyway, and you've done, but you never. It's like climbing Everest without the Everest. You want to keep climbing until no one can follow your footsteps anymore.
Well, it sounds like you're super content with what you've done. Because a lot of guys, they must see that retirement where their body catches up with them and they're just not happy with what they've done. Like they feel that they haven't quite ticked the boxes.
Yep.
You seem to feel like you've ticked so many boxes that you can retire content and look back and go, well,
yeah.
Because you will stop and smell the roses probably at some stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but to go out, because you're only good as your last fight. So to have your retirement fight, I really want to win. And against Mundine at Seabus Stadium, like you couldn't have scripted a better scenario for my final fight, considering starting at the bottom and then doing all this stuff overseas, and to have the final fight in a boxing fight of all things against the man. In a football stadium, hopefully with 20,000 people. It's going to be
5 minutes from home.
5 minutes from home. And that's the stadium I drove past every day to go to the gym too. So it's just scripted perfectly. And it'll be the perfect final chapter of my book that I hopefully one day gonna release. So just gotta make sure no corners are cut, and just believe in myself, believe in my abilities, and I know I can finish, and hopefully I can be an inspiration for not only my kids and the younger generation, but also my grandkids and their future generations. So.
Well, it's a huge fight on the Australian landscape, so
for sure. And then, my whole thing, my whole career too, is leaving a legacy. I know once I pass, I don't just want to fade off. Once I pass, I want people to. There's a gentleman from Holland called Raymond Deckers who passed approximately 10 years ago, and then people still look up his videos and still, I want to be him. I want to be that guy where people draw inspiration from.
Yeah. Well, man, I don't think there's any danger of you not going down as that sort of person. I know you're a busy man, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But I mean, on behalf of me and everybody else, congratulations on the career you've had so far, and it's been inspirational watching from the outside.
No, nice.
And I wish you all the best with the fight coming up. We're sure keen watchers, and I'll be at the TAB now. Put $1 on. I've heard it from the horse himself, so we're into it.
So, and if you come to Seabus Stadium November 30, it's going to be, especially if you're local too, to get everyone's support and to walk out in front of that crowd for the very last time and just have everyone cheering my name. It's the stuff dreams and movies are made of. You can see it now. It's like the Rocky way that you can see the lights and the ring and the crowd and the noise. I can already picture it. I visualize it every single day, and just have my hand raised at the end of it. It's just and then if I die tomorrow after the day after the fight, I don't care, because what I wanted to set out to achieve in this lifetime is achieved. And whatever happens after that, I know my family will miss me, but I'm content.
Yep. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming in, and all the best.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks,
Sean. Cheers, buddy. Bye.